Welcome to Top 4 everyone. This is Naji in Brooklyn. This is my first YouTube video and I'm so excited to begin this journey. I could finally share my opinions without arguing with nobody, and you guys know who you are. But first things first, please like, subscribe and enjoy the show. With my first video, I would like to start from the Premier League. I would like to start with Man United. There is a lot of questions that need to be answered. We want to talk about their downfall and what should happen next. It's been a long 7 years since they won the Premier League. The last time they won it, it was during Sir Alex Ferguson tenure. It was during the 2013 season. During that season as well, we shouldn't forget that David Gill, chief executive, also left the club. He was replaced by executive vice chairman Ed Woodward. A lot of managers took over, and the first one that took over was David Moyes. He was recommended by Sir Alex. That was maybe one of the worst decisions that Sir Alex have made, unless you argue that David didn't have enough time at the club. But he was the chosen one, David Moyes. He was promised $200 million budget by Ed Woodward, but he was only able to buy Marwan Fellaini on deadline day for 35 million. United didn't do well to start the season. Eventually, David was sacked after 10 months at the club. He was replaced by Ryan Giggs until the end of the season, and United finished that season in 7th position. David signed a 6-year contract, and he was sacked after 10 months at the job. Louis van Gaal came along, was a very good manager, won the Champions League, managed big players in previous clubs. Van Gaal was given a 3-year contract again. He was back in the market, but unfortunately, United didn't spend the money wisely. They got him Di Maria, they got him Luke Shaw, they got him Herrera, they also got Marcos Rojo, they got Daley Blind. Unfortunately, United that year had the worst start to a Premier League season since 1986. They managed 13 points from the first 10 games. They finished that season in 4th position. They barely made it into the Champions League. In 2015, United invested again in the market. They got Memphis Depay. They got Anthony Martial, a very exciting player for $66 million. But unfortunately, Martial is hot and cold. He's not always performing like he should. They signed him for a lot of money, and also they bought an old Bastian Schweinsteiger. That year, United finished in 5th position, but they won the FA Cup that year. Unfortunately for Van Gaal, and before the end of his contract, he was sacked by United 2 days after winning the FA Cup. Mourinho is gonna be the next manager that came along. He wasn't back in the market during his first season. He got Paul Pogba, he got Zlatan on free, he got Eric Bailly, and he signed, stop me if you heard that before, a 3-year contract at United. He was able to finish 6th in his first season and won the Europa League, which is, 6th for United isn't a good position, especially, in the Premier League. His second season, they improved, but they finally bought some really good player, Matic, Lindelof, Lukaku, and they got Alexis Sanchez also, if you remember, from Arsenal. They finished second in the league that year, and Jose considered it one of his best achievements, which tells you a lot about what does that mean, finishing second in the league that year. Unfortunately, in his last season at United, he had a lot of tensions growing between him and United players, especially Paul Pogba, about the social media post here and there. And he finally got the sack in December 2018, before, of course, finishing his 3rd-year contract at United, and was replaced by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer until the end of the season. Ole at that time was the interim head coach. Ole had a very positive start to his Manchester United career. He won the first 14 of the first 19 games in charge. They finished that year, Man United finished that year in sixth position, but United rushed. They were so quick to sign him on a 3-year contract again. I don't know if that's a good thing or a mistake. I mean, could you wait and see how Ole is gonna be managing players with egos, managing big players? He's never won that before in his life. He played for a big team. He didn't manage big players, and that's a totally different thing. In his first season in charge, United bought him Harry Maguire, um, a defender, and Wan-Bissaka to maybe rectify their defensive issues that they had. They also got him Bruno Fernandes in the January transfer market. United that year finished third in the league. It's been 7 years now that Man United hasn't won the league. That's a lot. But in a team as big as Man United, the blame cannot be on one person. We're going to start blaming Ed Woodward first. Man United have sacked 3 managers that already had contracts at United. They sacked the previous 3 managers before even they finished their contracts. In a team as big as United, there's always more than one person to blame. And we're going to start with Ed Woodward here. He sacked the previous 3 managers at United before they even finished their contract. It won't be too long before they sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that shows you how dysfunctional that team is right now. Previous managers have struggled to build their own team at United because of their awful transfer policy. They finished 7th in the league, 4th, 5th, 6th, 2nd, 6th, and then 3rd. They qualified 3 times in 7 years to the Champions League. They spent big money on a lot of players that are either not performing or they're already gone. Paul Pogba, not performing. Anthony Martial, not performing. Alexis Sanchez, gone. Di Maria, gone. Falcao, gone. They spent a combined $200 million on their defense between Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka. And they still have a lot of defensive issues right now. United need to spend wisely in the market, and they need to bring in the right people at the club. Jadon Sancho was one of the players that they talked about all summer long. Spend the money, $100 million to get Jadon Sancho, 110, but you have to do it. Koulibaly also cost a lot of money, but they should do it. But that's not all on Ed Woodward. The players and Ole are also to blame for that. And we're going to start with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here with their inconsistent results. They could win 5-1 against Leipzig in the Champions League, but at the same time lose at home to Crystal Palace in the league. The issue seems largely tactical with United. They know how to sit back, absorb the pressure, and go on the counter. And they can do that against Man City. They can do that. They can do that against Chelsea, Liverpool. That's why they won some of these games. But they can't do it against Newcastle, Crystal Palace, West Ham. They have a good record against the top 6. They start their game very poorly. And the coach is responsible for that. They lack the motivation, the energy, and as if they're never prepared. They are rarely on the front foot, which is a big issue right now at United. In 100+ games under Ole, United haven't seen any improvements. We're done with Ed Woodward. We're done with Ole. Now let's move to the players. They lack leadership. I mean, I don't think Maguire is a good leader. After what happened to him in Greece, he lacks leadership as a Man United captain. Paul Pogba, I don't think a person like Paul Pogba should be leading Man United right now. Every now and then in the media, he's fighting at Man United. He's like, I love to play with the national team. He's sometimes flirting with Real Madrid. You know, you should be focused right now. And they don't have the routines of the world or the Rio Ferdinands of the world, people that they could look up to. They could go be aggressive, have the energy to play. I'm not convinced United will win the league right now under these players. They could maybe finish in the top four, but they're not winning the league. And don't forget, players are thinking twice right now before going to United. And that happened with Dybala last year, for example. It was close, but he just didn't want to go to United. Where does Ed Woodward go from here? Would he hire Mauricio Pochettino and sack Ole? I don't know. I mean, Pochettino have never won a title yet in his career. He managed at Espanyol, he managed at Tottenham, but he never won a title. He was close. Max Allegri could be an option. He managed big players. He won titles. Will you figure out your transfer policy? Would you hire a technical director? I mean, Sir Alex was the technical director there. When he wants a player, he would get it. But now Ed Woodward isn't the right person to get the players that Man United needs. We left the Man United topic with more questions than answers, and a real change is needed to save that historic club. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please also let me know who is responsible for Man United downfall. Write your comments down below. And thank you again for watching. I'll catch you guys soon with another video. Until then, peace.